Okay, let's jump right into this explainer and uncover a hidden cognitive superpower. I mean, it's a skill that could absolutely revolutionize how we approach science, engineering, and honestly, just everyday problem solving. And the crazy part? You probably didn't even realize you had it.
You know, you might assume that being a total math whiz is the ultimate key to STEM success, right? But research is actually pointing to a highly overlooked predictor operating just beneath the surface. It's a skill set we literally use every single day, and yet we rarely ever measure it properly.
So, what are we talking about here? We're talking about spatial thinking. At its core, this is basically your ability to visualize and manipulate objects, spaces, and relationships right in your mind's eye. It's exactly how we make sense of the physical world and our place within it. And look, spatial thinking is way more than just some abstract academic concept. It is a highly practical survival skill. I mean, it's that mental game of Tetris you play when you're trying to pack a crowded car trunk for a road trip, or how you manage to navigate a completely new city without getting horribly lost. On a professional level, it's how a chemist visualizes complex molecules twisting in space, or how a geologist actually reads the Earth's history in folded rock formations. Now, the data on this is incredibly exciting. Longitudinal studies actually show that these spatial skills uniquely drive scientific creativity, and that's completely independent of your verbal or math scores. But here is the absolute best part. These skills are not fixed at birth. They're much more like a muscle. You can actively improve them through training and experience.
Okay, so that brings us to a crucial question. If this superpower is the ultimate key to STEM success, and we know for a fact we can train it, how exactly are we testing for it today? Well, spoiler alert here, we're doing a pretty terrible job.
Right now, researchers and educators are basically trapped in a totally disjointed testing ecosystem. It's what you might call a broken compass. Because without a reliable way to measure these skills, it is incredibly difficult to know if our educational strategies are actually working, or if they're pointing us in the right direction at all.
An eye-opening analysis from the Journal of Intelligence really hit the nail on the head regarding how bad this situation is. They found a massive lack of consensus on how we actually measure spatial abilities, which basically leaves researchers working in isolated silos instead of, actually sharing their knowledge.
And the roadblocks we're facing are massive. The whole field is completely plagued by prohibitively expensive proprietary tests, a severe lack of clear scoring instructions, and a huge over-reliance on unrepresentative, weird populations. And by weird, I mean Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. So our standard tests might be completely missing the spatial genius of billions of people outside of those specific demographics.
It is absolutely wild when you think about it. We are trying to map the future of cutting-edge STEM fields using these rigid 1970s paper and pencil methods, especially today when we literally have the capability to build accessible, modern, collaborative databases right at our fingertips.
And because we have limited access to modern tools, a lot of educators just default to what's called a mental rotation bias. They rely on these decades-old tests where you basically just rotate a block in your head. But that completely misses other vital skills. For example, it totally ignores non-rigid transformations. That's the ability to visualize things bending or changing shape, which is absolutely crucial for fields like geology or surgery.
But don't worry, there is a way to fix this broken compass. Modern technology is finally providing a clear map out of this testing nightmare. It's democratizing data and opening up entirely new, dynamic ways to measure human cognition.
So here is the new roadmap. By really leaning into exciting innovations like gamification, web-based virtual reality, adaptive algorithms, and open-access catalogs, we can finally start to build a unified, accessible theory of spatial intelligence.
A perfect example of this is a really cool project called Sea Hero Quest. Now, on the surface, it's just an incredibly fun mobile game where players navigate virtual oceans. But beneath the surface, it is brilliant. As people play the game, they are secretly contributing vital data to spatial cognition research. And because it was designed seamlessly as an engaging game, it naturally motivated over 3 million players to participate. 3 million! That is huge! It completely proves that we can recruit massive, highly diverse global datasets without needing to hand out huge financial incentives.
Moving beyond mobile games, we also have platforms like Virtual Silkton utilizing web-based VR. Now, this is a total game changer. It allows researchers to study how people learn the layout of new spaces right from a standard web browser. It removes all those clunky hardware barriers and brings robust navigation testing to literally anyone with an internet connection.
Then there's the International Cognitive Ability Resource, or ICAR. They use something called synthetic aperture testing. It sounds complex, but just think of it like taking a giant puzzle and giving different pieces to different people. Their adaptive algorithms give each participant a short, customized test, and then researchers can stitch it all together to gather highly precise, large-scale data.
Ultimately, though, to truly fix our broken compass, we need a major cultural shift toward open science. We absolutely need centralized, widely accessible catalogs of tests, managed collaboratively. That way, any researcher or teacher anywhere in the world can jump online and find exactly the tool they need to unlock their students' potential.
So, as we embrace this exciting tech-driven roadmap, I have to say the future of STEM education looks brighter than ever. With the right tools finally available to measure and train these abilities, it leaves us with one pretty big question. What hidden spatial superpowers are waiting to be unlocked in your own mind? Thanks so much for exploring this with us.